Hey y'all, welcome to Daydream Manor Flower Farm. I'm Dawn, I live in South Louisiana, and today I want to talk about time. Y'all, welcome into my kitchen. Yeah, this weather, I always got to start off with a weather thing. Yeah, I mean, we went from a drought last year to so much rain this year, and I mean, there's just never a happy median, I guess, but I mean, the good thing is the temperatures have dropped because it's been overcast and cloudy. So that's why I'm inside again today. But I also want to talk about things that where we get stuck and where we spend time. And I'm going to tell y'all, let me tell y'all why I want to talk about this. So I got a message on Instagram, and it wasn't like a facetious message or being messy or anything. But, okay, wait, let me back up. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I do a little shtick about, on this episode of Where Do Your Local Flowers Grow? Because I am positioning myself as the local flower farmer in my community. And so when I do that, I talk about everything, whatever I see when I walk out there in the morning. So it can be bugs, it can be blooms, no blooms, whatever. And it was funny because I got a message, and the message just said, you know, I am thinking about starting a flower farm, but what do you do when flowers aren't growing? And I thought that was interesting. And so I responded back, and then I started thinking, ooh, this response is a little bit more in detail than I would have thought, but I just shortened it up for Instagram. But let's talk about that for a minute, because I think what people lose sight of, so if you're a new farmer or you're thinking about getting into flower farming, yeah, there's much more. It is not about the flowers. The flowers are a pretty thing. It's a byproduct of everything else you do, basically. I will tell you, actually, cutting flowers, arranging flowers is probably about this much of my time. If I really go and look hard at everything else I have to do to get to that point, it's about this much of my time. So here's what I did. I kind of laid out all of my revenue streams. Like, how do I sell my flowers? Like subscriptions, I'm in the boutique, one-offs, all of the things, pop-ups, all of that. And then I went back and I worked from there. And I was like, okay, when I do a flower bar, from the time I get the first email inquiring until I actually clean up the event, how many hours am I spending? And so I kind of did that for everything that I do, because I really wanted to see where I was spending my time. Well, it is not in the flowers. Running a flower farm is running a business. And I think about it sometimes in terms of a retail business. Just my product looks a little bit different. But it is running a business. So when she asked, what do I do when the flowers aren't? First of all, there's always flowers growing. Right now, there's nothing in the field that's really doing anything. I'm just babying some zinnias so I can get maybe some September blooms out of them. The tunnel has dahlias and mums in it that I'm just keeping up with. But when you start thinking about what are the other things you're doing when you're not cutting flowers, and the list is impressive. You know, I think about, I still need to weed. Now, granted, I have weed suppression, and that helps tremendously. But I still need to be in those boxes weeding once a month. The high tunnel is the same way, because where I have the mums and the dahlias, I don't have weed suppression there. So I have to keep up on top of that. But that's an hour or two once a month cleaning that up. Grass still needs to be cut around them. That's every week. I've got to water, because I don't have drip irrigation. Y'all think I'm getting salty about that? I'm trying not to, but it's getting there. But I have to water, so that takes time. I've got to stay up on my pest pressure, and especially this year, the bugs have just been horrible. And so, that spraying, doing whatever I need to do, picking bugs off, all of those things, that's still happening in the field. Those things don't stop. They're slowed down. They're not at the pace they are like in spring, but they're still happening. And then there's seeds. Now, I don't start a whole lot of seeds during the summer, and I truly like starting seeds. I like the whole soil blocking, doing the seeds. To me, it's therapeutic. Now, look, I can do a 1,000 seeds in a couple of hours on a Saturday morning, okay? But that's still time. Then they need to be tended to. You can't just put them in soil blocks and never water them or make sure the lights are on or any of that. You've got to take care of them. Also, if you start getting fungus gnats, you got to treat that. So it's a whole thing there. What else? Oh, here's the other thing. I got to still order my seeds. I've got to be thinking about the season coming up, the next year. What am I ordering? I will say after 6 years, I kind of know what I already want. Sometimes it's just narrowing down colors, like especially around tulips. Like I know what tulips grow extremely well here now. I don't want to say extremely well. Ooh, Lord, knock on wood, because I don't want to jinx it. But I also know in those variety, there's one variety that I prefer. And I just need to pick out the colors. So it doesn't take as long as it used to, but it still takes time to go to multiple companies and order multiple things. So that's another piece. Then let's talk about marketing. Because just because I don't have flowers to hand you physically today doesn't mean I'm not going to have flowers in 4 to 6 weeks from now and I need you to take those flowers. So marketing is always ongoing. My website, even though it just got revamped, I'm updating some other things because I have some things that I want to add, because this is my creative time. Like, what other revenue can I bring in as I am growing flowers? Like, what else can I do? How can I beef up my subscriptions? All of those things. Working on that right now. Like, I literally just left my computer to come do this because I was like, you know what? I need to talk about this. The other pieces, I still need to do my newsletter. I do a newsletter quarterly. Well, that don't write itself. So I've got to take care of it. That's another thing that gets added to your plate. So when you start looking at all these things that it takes to run a flower farm, oh, accounting. Here's the other biggie. So I don't do the accounting. Let me back up. I give Mr. Daydream my receipts. I have a folder that I put them in for him, and I give him the income. He does the books. He's had his own business for many years. He likes to do it. Well, no, he doesn't. Nobody likes to do it. But he does his own for his company, so it's just easier for him to do it for mine. But y'all know, you get in the thick of things, and I will order stuff online. Like I just ordered my Lizanthus plugs. I didn't download my receipt, and he likes a paper copy for tax purposes. He likes to have the paper copies. I didn't download it. I didn't even write it down. I didn't write it down. And so I have to go back through emails. I got to go remember what I ordered, and I try to catch up on all of that stuff during these 2 months. There is still a lot that goes on. You are running a business. So if you are new to flower farming, or you're thinking about getting in it because you want to cut flowers and arrange flowers, you need to go work for a florist. And I'm not being ugly about it. Please don't take that as being ugly, but that's not the reality of flower farming. It is a lot more to it than just going out there. In fact, I will tell you, I spend less time cutting flowers for subscriptions than I do for anything else, because I will do a field walk a couple of days before subscriptions bouquets are ready, and I'm walking and I'm making up my recipe, and then I come back in and I know I need X amount of this stem, this stem, this stem. That's my recipe. When I'm ready to harvest, I take my buckets, I get out there, I have my sticky note with what I need, and I cut and I go. I can cut everything I need within the hour. So that is just a little piece of it. The arranging part, if I'm doing bouquets wrapped in paper, that's not really arranging. That is not arranging. It takes me a little bit longer when I do my vases for my subscriptions because I want them to look nice. And arranging is not, it's just not my forte, so I'm not great at it. I'm getting better at it, but I don't like to do it. I'm just going to be honest. It's not something I really care to do, but I do it because I do want them to look nice. But that's still, I will still spend more time starting seeds and tending to seeds than I will making bouquets. That's the reality of it. Again, I think Instagram, I just saw somebody else's account that I follow. In fact, I'm going to unfollow because I just can't deal anymore. You know, again, this whole romanticized thing about here's how it really looks. Y'all, people ask me all the time, you know, can I come take pictures? Baby, there's nothing to take pictures of. I will tell you again, we are not frolicking through the flowers. We're frolicking through the manure and the compost. That's what I deal with. And I don't want people, and I'm not trying to discourage anyone, because does it give me great pleasure? Absolutely, when I do those bouquets. 100%. But I don't want you to think that that's all there is to it. Do your homework. Oh, that's another thing. I completely forgot about that. I'm always in the learning stage. Like, I'm always trying to research, look for different, somebody will mention a variety of a flower that does better. It's like zinnias. I would love to find another flower that grows really well here that I could replace zinnias with. Everybody and their mama grows zinnias. Every home gardener pretty much grows zinnias. The difference is we're doing the big giants. They're not, so that is an attraction, but I would love to replace them. So I'm always on the hunt for that. Again, but that's just research. Answering people on social media, being interactive, inquiries, setting up flower bars. I'm adding a succulent social to my offerings because I'm gonna go do one of those. So, because I also grow succulents. That's something else. I never even talk about that. I'm gonna have to show y'all my back porch one day because y'all would be amazed. I have succulents all on my back porch. Love them. Anyway, I just wanted to pop on here really quick, just talk about it. And I would love to hear from you. What are the top 2 things that take your time? Besides cutting flowers, not cutting or arranging flowers. What are the other top 2 things that you find that you spend a lot of time on? Just curious. All right, folks, I got to jet because I've got a call in a few minutes that I've got to go handle for my farm job that insists that I work so they can pay me. I don't know. I would love for them just to pay me, but you know, kidding. Okay, y'all have a wonderful week and we will chat again soon.